Hello, everybody. Welcome to Sound of Inbound. And today we're going to be speaking with Dax Miller. He is the Chief Care Officer with Hapily. I had the pleasure of meeting Dax at this past year's Inbound Conference 2025. The HubSpot folks actually connected us. He is a fascinating individual.
Yeah, Dax was so great to meet at Inbound, and I'm so excited that we get to have him on as a guest for the Sound of Inbound this year. He is a one-of-a-kind person. I think he fully sets the bar for that. His energy that he brings is, I think, going to be infectious for the show, and he's going to share some really cool stuff with us.
Yeah, and in the most positive ways, Dax is an experience. You
Yeah.
just have to experience the Dax. And he lives up to it.
Dax
And
is dope.
Dax is dope, and their logo is a melted popsicle. So how could you not have some fun with that?
Yeah.
All right, so everybody, please stay tuned for our time with getting to know Dax with Hapily here on the Sound of Inbound.
Hello, everybody. Today's guest not only has one of the coolest names on the planet, at least by my count, he has also taken a front row seat in HubSpot's growing app ecosystem and helped shape it from the inside out. As the co-founder of Hapily, Dax Miller has turned years of agency experience into a thriving product studio focused on one thing and one thing only, building apps for HubSpot and not just on HubSpot, which I absolutely love. And I want to get into his creator side as we get into this podcast today. At his core, Dax loves to create, just like I do, as made evident by his recent Capybara conference, which we think we're going to talk about today. Yet he is grounded in gratitude, and you'll see that when you get introduced to Dax on today's podcast. Today, we're going to explore how that mix of curiosity, creativity, and technical depth fuels that Hapily story, which is a beautiful story, and what it says about the future of building inside a HubSpot or any platform for that matter and being an innovator. Please welcome to the Sound of Inbound today, Dax Miller. I think the first thing I have to do is have everybody call out the fact that this guy is like living the brand.
It's part of actually company culture. Like, our shit is dope is on the company culture tagline is, if I had a toilet brand, my toilets would be so dope. Everybody would want my toilets. I would have everybody would want it. It'd be, they'd probably come in different colors. We'd have matte, we'd have gloss, we'd have auto close. We had auto close psych. We'd have it's like in Japan, I want background music, just, privacy mode on my toilets, right? And then when I, went to Japan, I was like, oh my gosh, they came out with my toilets, like the dopest toilets, but there's just regular toilets, right? But everything that we do is brand. Every brand that company that I've ever built, I'm either got jewelry, I even have the first version, which is funny, it's right here. This is the first version of our company, which was called Alchemist. So there's that one. Then there was the evolution of A Labs was there as well. And now we got the Hapily thing. And also my first company, the Hawk, got the tattoo. So it's, you can't, what are you doing it for? What are you doing it for if you're not living it?
Only in the last year did we start making our own merch. And I wasn't really excited about it at first. I thought maybe it's not going to turn out great. And then we updated our brand, and then I got super excited about it. We actually very proud of it. And I think when people live a brand, it becomes more of a lifestyle. It's not just the work. It's something that you're thinking and carrying with you all the time.
So that's the biggest thing. I always wanted everything that we came out with to be industry agnostic or even knowledge agnostic. I have no idea what this brand is, but I saw some sneakers and they were crushing it. I saw this and I was like, wow, whatever that is, I like it. I'm about it. What do? They make toilets. Oh, well, man, I probably should look into the toilet, because if the t-shirts are dope or the sneakers are raw or they have skate decks or something, then again, you can live with it. It makes it tangible. You can taste it, touch it, feel it, all that.
Okay. So just to let everybody know, where are you calling in from today?
North of Dallas, Texas. So we're in God's country right now.
Yeah. You don't have the accent. So where are
I
you?
don't. I'm originally from outside of Chicago. I'm from rural Illinois. Chicago's where we migrated to eventually after college. You know what I'm saying?
I was wondering, so what brought you then to Texas from the Midwest? Because that sometimes is not a move. A lot of people from the Midwest seem to go either East Coast, West Coast. They don't usually go south.
Yeah, it was a journey, right? Because snow sucks. So we left Chicago, my wife and I, when it was the big freeze. Basically, Lakeshore Drive froze over. I opened up the door, it was to here in snow, and we're like, yeah, it's probably not where we need to be. So we were like, where's there no snow? Arizona. So we moved to Arizona, then to Tempe. My wife graduated, got our master's at ASU, and we lived there, had our kids there. We lived there for 10 years, and then COVID hit, and they were selling homes like hotcakes. They're like, hey, do you have 4 walls? I got a bunch of money. I'll give it to you today. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. Well, it's kind of homogenous and boring a little bit in Arizona. Everything closes at 8. Asian food, hard to come by, needle and haystack. So we're like, oh, well, where's there great food all the time? Las Vegas. Like, oh, we'll just move there. We go there every year and we just like, we'll move there.
You moved to Vegas?
I lived in Vegas.
Oh
From
my
there,
God.
lived there for 2.5 years. That was a mistake. Great
I was going to
community.
say, did you
great-
enjoy that time?
No, well, we made it enjoyable with the people that we met. The stories go on and on of like how crazy that place is, but you learn like the nooks and crannies of Las Vegas, and that it's like 5 people live there, and you can if you do have kids and you are about business and networking, it's the perfect place for you. If you have anything younger than 20 as a child, it's not the place to be at all. So we're like, well, we should not live here. So once we were figured out, we need to, someone stole my Mario sweatpants, like package thief. I wanted those purple sweatpants so bad. Somebody took them. Police chase ensues. Long story short is we're like, we should not live here. Where are we going to live? We looked at Texas. We don't want to go to California. We looked at Texas from San Antonio, Austin, Dallas, and we came here to north of Dallas and the Dallas suburbs, and we're like, this is really good. So, all right, well, it's extremely safe. It is a competition of who can have the coolest shit for kids every day, every year. It's like never ending. You can drive for 4 hours and it's never not like crazy populated and stuff. It's a really huge area. It's really nice. And we're just like, all right, we'll do it. Like, we got to sell our house. Don't have time. Just buy another one. And we buy another one and then eventually sell our house, Las Vegas house. And that's where we're here. And that's how we're in Texas. And I'll tell you what, everything that people from the Midwest think of Texas is so far off. It's hilarious.
This is where you founded Hapily, right? When you were in Texas?
Actually, no. In reality, Hapily is a constant trip, fall, stumble, Wile E. Coyote hit rake to face since 2019.
Well, I know it's evolved over time.
It's evolved, but I think Hapily came to be, on the couch here. Yeah, okay. So yeah, it was
on the
It was here. It was actually here when the true Hapily in its current form was made.
Yeah, I was trying to look at the timeline and all of that. So we'll get to Hapily in a few minutes. I want to make sure everybody understands your personality and where you're coming from and all the things that you do. Like me, you are like the consummate creative. And when we first met, it was at the Inbound conference. And I'm in kind of a similar zone of trying different kind of ventures ourselves right now. And so I'm wildly intrigued by your business model and finding something that's niche, but you're going after it, and it's fantastic. But the moment that after the conference and meeting each other, we get on a call with each other, the first thing you tell me is that you're launching into this Capybara conference. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then I think it was the next day you put this thing out on LinkedIn if you're walking around interviewing capybaras, right? You got to tell me the backstory on that one. That was hysterical.
No, man. So we my family and I, constantly dating other countries. When you're not at home, it's an opportunity to make content, right? It's like in a background and somewhere I'm never usually, whether it's an outfit or something. And one of the highlights that I wanted to do when we were over there is like, okay, cool. Yeah, they have capybara like cafes and stuff. There's actually one not too far from here, but there's like a place where you could stay. And I was like, okay, well, it's going to be ridiculously overpriced, but I can't do that all the time where I can wake up and have breakfast and coffee with some animals and hang out. So there's a place it's called the Izu. Yeah, it's like the Izu Palace Hotel or Izu Resort. The Izu Resort. It's in Hakone, so it's like south of like where Mount Fuji is. Like Tokyo's over here, Mount Fuji, it's south. And they have like a capybara hotel where you could stay at like a villa type thing. And the whole background, like all the friends are out hanging out. They got their little waterfall. They got everything is just chill. So you can just go outside and you're there. And then at night, like the windows are open. You can see them sleeping and coming up and pooping on your front thing so they can keep their place clean. And I was like, all right, cool. Well, what can I film while I'm here? I got to film something or do something. And then it was just like, oh, we're doing our mobile lead capture app is coming out. So there's a bunch of people. Where's there a bunch of people? It's a conference. I'm going to interview all these people, scan their fake badges.
And by people, he means capybaras. Okay,
Yeah,
people,
capybaras.
you gotta watch the video.
Beaver dogs.
Very funny. And they're the most chill animals ever. So you could do pretty much whatever you want with these guys.
And they jump up like dogs too. There's like, hey man, what's you got any carrots?
So, but like me, you are not embarrassed to try all sorts of interesting things. Just put it out there and try.
What is embarrassment? Like, oh
Well,
man,
I mean, like, right? Yeah. So I
feel
think
very strange.
I'm curious, just to kind of like our theme of these interviews and these podcasts is to kind of bring it back to helping brands make themselves so magnetic. So I'm kind of wondering from your standpoint, why is it so important for a brand to just try different things? Like, what kind of attitude should we be having? Can that be bringing success to organizations that are just out there trying stuff? Like, don't, like you just said, what's embarrassed? That doesn't even mean anything. Does that translate well into the business side of your world?
Number one, we're all vying and trying to get the currency of attention. Everything is about attention, right? If I see the same thing, no one's going to pay attention to it. If they see something different, you get the, oh, well, what is that? That's dumb or that's cool, but you have attention. Regardless of that, you have attention, you have a reaction, and that's all you really want is, does someone know you exist? Because most people don't know that you exist. Granted, a capybara thing was just a random brain fart, but every time that happens, like, I'm going to act on it because I have to, right? Again, we are built in the creation we're built to be like a god. We are supposed to create. It would be a tragedy and a fault to myself if that did not exist. And I think that when people have ideas for their business, it's their duty, and they owe it to themselves and to their organization, their group of people, their collective, to like make it exist in the real world. What happens afterwards, you can't control, but you can control what you put out, right? You can control inputs, you can't control outputs, but you can put in a bunch of stuff. And I think that if you try too hard to do what the book says and follow the rules, then you're going to have pretty much expected outcomes. And most of the time, expected outcomes are default bad. When humans interact with each other, like, depending on how your soul is, it's either like, I give everyone we're good. Hey, what's up? I'm this. Cool. Right? That's default positive with human interaction. But from a brand, it's probably like default negative because I'm being sold. I'm on the retreat. Like, I'm being like approached. Just like if someone's like in the parking lot next time you go to Trader Joe's, Whole Foods, your favorite place, if someone's in the parking lot, like, hey, excuse me, sir. Like, there's nothing good coming out of that because you're being approached.
I call it getting sharked.
You're getting
I call it
threatened.
getting
You're like,
sharked because it's coming from nowhere and you're getting sharked from the side. I'm agreeing, though, that our job overall is to find that really interesting spin on things. But where you and I are both opportunists. I mean, there's not necessarily a gate for us or any kind of like holdback for leaping into different kinds of ideas and just seeing what could happen. I was listening to another interview and somebody called it the case of the fuckets. and it's like, just don't care, and I think there's a lot of people out there that put too much, let's say, conservative thinking around what marketing can do, what brands can do, and they're looking like everybody else. So our team calls it a sea of sameness. And what are you doing for yourself if you play that game? You're not standing out at all. So why would anybody want to pay attention to you when you're ready to do work?
because you don't want results, you want to be safe. And that's what HR and legal want. Like, oh, I just want to be safe. Like, we can do it as long as it's safe. Does it get the best results? I'm not going to get sued if I get great results. I'm going to get sued if I'm not safe. So it's like you're worried too much of what the outcome is, so you end up being lackluster inputs. And I just think that there's no room for that. You just got to throw a bunch of stuff on the wall. Like, they can say the push-pull marketing. Like, if they're pushing is really easy, buy my thing. Here's my thing.
You said something on their last call, and we wrote it down because it was great. Should be on a t-shirt. You said, selfish in my own lust to create goofy shit. You said that on the last call. And so we're wondering, is goofy the word? Is goofy the way that you're thinking about it? Or is it that kind of like unabashed creativeness that you're really, really trying to convey by saying that you just got to get out there and just try some interesting, cool, goofy stuff?
Yeah, satisfy your own self-interest. That's like the most basic thing that you could say, but like, just do it for yourself. Most of the things that I've put out, it was like when before Hapily, it was like labs. Like, I was like, all right, I had listened to this random beat that got sent to me, and something that Connor had said. I was like, yo, I want to make this feature. And he's like, I don't think we should make that feature. And it made me think of a song that was called Feature Creep, because that's what when I try to make something, all I would do is be like, but then we can add this. Oh, we gotta add that. No one asked for this, but I want this to happen, right? And so I made a song called Feature Creep, and I had like one or two random lines that I thought would be a cool, sexy R&B song, because I was like, because I was making a report about it. And I was like, oh, it's the X-axis. Ooh, that's X-rated. But there's a Y-axis. Ooh, that's Y-rated. And they're like, oh, there's a song. Made a song, put it out. It was cool. There's no reason for that. There's no book that's like, okay, well, step one, when you're trying to market your business, you should make a music video or something. And a lot of people do like songs and things. It's a thing now, right? But regardless if it's a thing that someone's already done, I couldn't not have it exist. It needed to exist. I couldn't hold it in. I had to make this thing. I made this thing. And then I was like, cool, whew, I can go on with my life and like move on.
I want to make sure I get this right. Did I read right that you went to school and actually studied Spanish? Is that right?
Yeah, it was Spanish and business translation.
Like Spanish language business translation or business?
Yeah. I went to like art school. I wanted to be like a computer programmer, whatever that meant, right? And they're like, yo, you have to go to art school for 2.5 years before you can even get into web design. I was like, that sounds like a big waste of time. Okay, so I did it, and then I got into the program, and then like the first class was like Dreamweaver, and they just give you like a piece of paper. They're like, yo, dude, here you go. Here's the assignment. I was like, anybody gonna teach me anything? They're like, yeah, here's instructions. I was like, oh, wait a minute now. This is ridiculous. How much is this? And then I had been taking Spanish since I was in high school, and I took it as like a minor. Like I plan on minoring it just so I can learn it. But then I was just like, you know what? Everything is about to be outdated. This was like Facebook was just like a thing, and the wall like turned into like, I was like, okay, you know what? You guys can't teach me anything that's not going to be new. Like I got to scrap all this. I wasted all that time. I'm just going to study Spanish because I know that at least that'll probably be around.
Well, I was going to say that part of that experience got you into how to I'm kind of connecting the dots for you, but translating from one group into another group. And I think that's the creative side into the technology side. And I love the fact that you're in the invention world. You're kind of in that market space. So I think taking interesting and funny and maybe goofy ideas and then finding a way to spin that and translate that into ways that take it into really interesting tools might have been a seed that was dropped when you were in college and you were learning Spanish and trying to translate one idea into another.
Man, I'll tell you what, that dot is far, but the real dot of like language is formulas. Like for me, it was formulas. Like Spanish ended up being a formula. Like to me, Mandarin is a formula. I can pick up Mandarin, pick it up faster than like anything else. Everything else is like biology. I can't do biology because it's just memory. I have no idea what this is called. But math, like it's just a formula. And a lot of the things that you do technology wise is just a formula. So you end up building formulas, and then that's like with music, like you have a formula where it may be abstract, but you have a formula that you're going from the number 12. Let me run that a bunch of different ways and a bunch of different devices, and you got music. But when you talk about like technology and building things, it ends up being just another formula. And what is the opposite of that is abstracting from the business formula and putting in a human involved, which ruins everything. Like a human ruins every piece of technology. They didn't expect them to do like this on the keyboard. Like, why would you do that? I have 6-episode skits of my cats with ties on, and they run their own business. And like that, who cares about cats with ties? I care about cats with ties because I have 5 cats and they got to pay rent. They're not paying rent, so they got to do something to help this machine move forward. And that was the idea of that. Like that's not a part of the formula, but the idea is like, what are we doing right now? I have an idea. I have a thing, Hapily. Of stuff, my life, I'm going to smash them together, and whenever there's an overlap, I can. Just like we have a thing with RevOps at the skate shop, and we have match, and we're just like skateboarder dudes, and we just like learn HubSpot, and we're just why can't you double click? Like then we just go through the RevOps thing with skateboarding because guess what? I'm going to be at the skate park anyway. I might film something.
You're talking RevOps while you're skating?
Yeah, where it's RevOps at the skate shop. It's a skate shop that that sells boards, but they have HubSpot. And they're trying to like figure out new stuff, and they're running events. They're knock preview. They're running like a big contest. It's an event that they have to do registrations for. And guess what I have? I have a technology that does event registrations. So it's like, why not? Like that's our whole thing, because I want to, because I'm there anyway.
So was it the opportunity that you just kind of saw coming out of nowhere that was the inspiration to get into doing more app development? Was it just seeing a need and saying, oh my gosh, we should pursue that? This gap really needs to be filled.
Simply that. It's simply like, hey, your neighbor asks you to go get the mail, and you have to send something, and they're like, well, how do I tell the postman that I need to send something, but I'm going to put it in the same box that I get the stuff? He may think you just put it there. Maybe I can like put a flag or something. Flag. That was it. I had gotten a client that was a consulting client like in 2019 that they're like, hey, I'm going to HubSpot. I was like, cool. Like I got introduced to him. I was like, what's HubSpot? a friend of a friend worked there. Hey man, tell me what this is about. I get it. Like I play video games. I get how things work. I get everything on the internet is pretty much a formula. It's a bunch of GET requests and a GET and posts, and it's the same thing. It's a facade of the same thing. That's why I say with CRMs and ERPs and ABM, they're all facades of the same thing. It's a big form in a database. But I was like, okay, I'll figure this out. Migrate them to HubSpot. They're like, this is great. Where do my clients look at their tickets, support tickets? I was like, looks like they don't have like a portal of some sort. They're like, can you build it? I was like, I know someone that can. Call my friend Tyrone. Hey, Tyrone, can we build this? Can you build this thing? Here's the docs. Here's how I think it would go. Whips it up. They're like, great, this is awesome. Where do I see the SLA for the tickets though now? HubSpot doesn't have that either. Can you build it? Yeah. Here's the docs. Here's how I want it to be. Let's call it something funny. And boom, there it is.
Is Tyrone your Wozniak to you being Jobs in the world of it is? Okay.
Since 2009, if ever I have a nerd idea,
partnerships like
call
that.
him. I'm like, yo, dude, can you build this because it needs to happen and somebody asked me for it. He's like, cool. And we build it and we have it. I'm going to stumble backwards, but I'll finish the whole thing with HubSpot. But the long story is, or the short of it is, every single thing that this person needed, HubSpot didn't have. And I was like, how is that possible? What else don't they have? You can't duplicate stuff. Come on, like if you can't hit clone and clone a thing, all right, let me just build that because that'll take this weekend. So we built Clone Attack. We called everything after video games, but it built Clone Attack like over a weekend or so and put that out there. And we're just like, oh, cool. We got some apps, put them in. There's an app store. Oh, cool. Let's throw them in the app store. And then all of a sudden our phone started ringing. I was like, well, why are you calling me? I have a deal. Like I work at HubSpot. I have a deal. Can you click over to the other line? It's like, okay, I'm talking to this person about something that I just built randomly, that they have a HubSpot deal that they're trying to get.
Pivoting on your app to be available when they buy HubSpot.
They need it. Yeah, they don't have HubSpot. They need this to get HubSpot. And I was like, yeah, it does this, it does that. They're like, but does it do this? I was like, it can. Give me like an hour or two. We can make it happen. Like, what else? I'm like, okay, bye. I go on with my life. And all of a sudden, people started buying stuff, and we're like, oh, well, what else? And then we had a long roadmap of like all this stuff. There's so many apps that we didn't even build. Like, I wanted to build a better Teams integration, call it All-Star Teams, and make it look like RBI Baseball for Nintendo, and like all this stuff, right? File Fantasy, like not Final Fantasy, but File Fantasy. That was all these ideas, right? Because it's like easy. It's just, what is my life? Video games. I could just name everything and brand everything video games because I like it.
It's a successful business model partly because lucky chance, HubSpot itself is a successful business, and there's a lot of organizations out there leveraging it for what it can do at its core, but we all can't get one thing to do all the things. So you've really hitched your wagon to something that is like a rocket ship right now because it's becoming more of that app universe of let's find all the gaps and try to find opportunities to help people improve upon the platform that's unique to them. And not every single HubSpot build is the same. So why not customize it with certain apps from the marketplace, which is where you guys come in. And I think it's fantastic. I think it's an amazing opportunity for you guys that you've been able to continue to scale on that. And then just kind of full transparency, they eventually came around and invested in you guys. Is that right?
That is correct. So the purpose is, we always looked at this in a really interesting way, again, in the mindset where we used to be, where we build, like, let's build a bunch of utility apps, little things that do stuff and that scale. That's not a venture scale business. That's a really cool lifestyle business where you can just have something that pays for your rent and you're cool with it. And you can come out with little dinky things, widgets and fidget spinners and stuff like that people need. The biggest thing is about an ecosystem. Like if you got all of the WordPress developers together, it's a football stadium. It's an amphitheater. It's something crazy. At the first inbound I went to, it was a table of people that were the developers on HubSpot. I was like, how is it only like four
or five of us?
I'm like, oh, because like there's no docs, there's no way to really do it. There's no videos out there that like show you how to do it. I was like, oh, well, duh. Like we have to make that stuff now. And the concept was, let's get a show pony, bring people to develop on the platform. And let's show that you can build a true business on top of HubSpot. So when we broke out to be just a software company, Hapily, that's where HubSpot Ventures got involved and supported us, similar to like how they supported Arrows and some of the other app companies, so that they could see like there is a business to be made and bring other folks in as they continually work to make it a true developer platform, which is a work in progress, definitely work in progress.
Okay, we're going to pause for a minute or two. And when we come back, we're going to get more in touch with Dax's personal brand and, of course, Hapily's brand and get more of maybe an outlook, a futurist outlook of where Dax, Hapily, and maybe the future of the industry may go. So stay tuned. Okay, everybody, we are back with Dax, and Puma, as you can see here, has joined the interview on the Sound of Inbound. Hello, Puma. How are you? Chilling, I can tell. I just learned that the name Puma came from the fact that it looks like Puma's wearing a tracksuit, which I think is hysterical.
I have the Puma tracksuit, which is the inspiration.
Which would make you match the cat,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Okay, I love that. We do believe in bringing in our animals and sharing the workday with them. They seem to get bored really quickly and want to get out of here and want to go home.
They're like, I was on the couch, sleep in the sun. Like, how dare you?
Okay, well, I have a few questions for you. I thought we would get into a few things about your personal brand and Hapily brand, and then maybe a few more questions about where things are going to go, and some other pursuits that you have going on. So first is, I'm really interested in hearing about what's one word you would use to describe your personal brand.
Grateful. Everything, man. The breath, the coffee I have right here, this cat not whooping my ass and like slapping me for no reason. I have like nice animals. Like, there's too much. Like, we live in a time where everything is within arm's reach. We have so much to be thankful for, and we have so much control over what happens. I can't get enough, man. So whatever I get, we like, hey, we're going out to dinner. What are we eating? Crackers and cheese. That's all we got. Yo, I love crackers and cheese, man. Like, bring it. Can I have two? You can have two. Oh, like, there's too much to be thankful for, man. We all don't deserve this. We could have lived in a crazy time where we make it to 15 and like that's it. And we married our cousin 5 times over, and like now our faces are messed up. AKA, that's not that long ago. That was like 400 years ago. King Edward II. Like, come on, that was not that long.
Not even 400.
Not even 400. That was like 300 and some years ago.
Yeah, and actually, our agency is very focused on the life sciences, and it is remarkable how much just the world of healthcare has changed. Even people brushing their teeth don't even realize how many years that adds to their life. So I'm always like fascinated by, yes, I'm agreeing with you. We are very, very grateful. And I tell my team all day long, we push pixels around and get paid for it. That's just insane. So we try not to take that for granted. Okay, so moving on to Hapily for a moment. Other than the name itself, what's one word you would summarize that whole initiative?
Everything that we do is dope. It is the first company culture that you learn is don't even do the shit if it's not dope. Don't even try it. If your attitude isn't dope, like, so you got to stop.
Dax, I have an idea. You need to, unless you've already done it, because I'm pretty sure you probably have, but you should create the subdomain dope.hapily.com, and you should put a whole thing there about living dope.
Oh, man. Well, that's where the store is going to be then.
Okay, all right.
We're going to have to do a shop, like, just so you can get credits, and like I can give people credits to like get like gear and stuff.
Yeah, there you go. You should do that.
It's going to be shop.hapily. I'm like, it's just like the idea of like, what's your support email? Support at. You're like, come on, you could do something like give me a concierge, give me a chair or something. So we just did care, but like, yeah, dope is like a better subdomain than shop.
I would totally do that, and I would get it in. I would get in there.
It's immortalized now.
So a couple things. I'm curious as to AI right now and where things have been going this year and where you think it might be going next and how it could impact some of the things that you're working on. I know a lot of folks that get into vibe coding these days because I think it's a good way to understand all of the shenanigans that developers have to go through. Just try to do vibe coding to do something simple. It gives you a lot of experience and exposure to a whole nother world that you may not have even known about before. But from your point of view, and just thinking about where AI has been at, let's say, a year ago or 8-9 months ago until now, what are your thoughts? Like, where do you think it's going?
So I think there is a bubble that's going to explode. There's all these companies that are coming out with stuff that people are like, this sounds great. Let me try to implement it. They never implement it. It doesn't do what they want. The AI company charts them as revenue. Chick, I've got another $100,000 ARR like company just signed on. It's like, homie, they're going to churn in 4 days. like they don't like what you have, or what you have doesn't really work, it's going to pop. So there's going to be some sort of cascading event of AI not being implemented, like the dreams of AI, kind of like your pets.com style of cascading failures, where people are trying to do too much. So that's not where it's going, in my opinion. There's going to be some sort of cascading explosion, like where reality sets in. And then where it is really going is just the utility of just-in-time information. Like everything is about just-in-time information. Like I don't need to know about the big beautiful bill until I have to pay some taxes. And I want to know about it right now and know my situation and how does this work? Okay, you can go by. Woo! Look at that. Cat hair don't care. Now, when you're able to use AI as a true like assistant style, like vibe coding something to get like an MVP, so they have an idea of how you can make it into a production level thing, how you can set up your own personal like finances or shopping lists or things like that, where you can automatically grab stuff or be like, what's in my fridge right now. What can I make tonight? Well, based upon you going and shopping and putting up your receipts, like you could do this, 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 and this. Great. That type of use case, the true like robot that helps you, but it's in the ether of information that pertains to you. I think that's the context of you is the best use, I believe, of AI. Like you're not going to automatically have something that just calls and sets appointments and it's perfect. You're not going to have something like the closest you're going to get to things like that is like when you go to Walgreens and they call you and your prescription is ready or something like that. That's like the closest, and you're like, cool, thanks.
So on that point, ChatGPT just launched Atlas, and I downloaded it. I'm not just saying this for this show, but I downloaded it yesterday. And one of the first things I wanted to do was pull over all my history from Google. And I told it not to, because it did say as it got started that it's going to learn the behaviors and what my history is and who I'm looking at within the context of that whole instance, that session. Or not session, I guess that whole application. Yeah. And so I didn't realize exactly how this would work. But the very first page is just basically a ChatGPT prompt to say, what do you want to learn about? What do you want to look into? If you type in the name of a company, it will let you go there. But when you go there, and this is something really interesting that I'm sure HubSpot will have to consider in the future, is when you go to a website, and even if it has its own little customer service agent chat, the Atlas browser can now open a panel on the right and let you start asking questions in context to what you're looking at that moment and beyond. So if I said to the ChatGPT browser, should I trust this company? I'm reading this article. Is the article at any significance to me? And should I trust them? It starts giving me information about the business, how it relates to me, and if other companies could be a fit while I'm looking at this company's website. And that's not a thing. That sidecar is not really there yet until I saw this yesterday. I was like, oh man, this is changing the way I would now advise my clients to be building content. So yeah, I was just wondering what your thoughts were on some of that too, because that's really, I think, a trend that people hadn't seen really coming yet. They thought the ChatGPT windows and Gemini, they were all over here, but now they're really like interface.
Yeah, they're in your search, right? We're always searching for something, whether it be a search engine or Dewey Decimal System. Like we're always like looking for something, and now it's a guide. So you're like, it's like going to like Lowe's or Home Depot. You're like, yo, dude, like, I need to know where the metric A5 screws are, and you're in this huge warehouse and no one's trying to help you. You feel lost, so you could go on your phone and look at the bay aisle, but you have to do this whole thing. But in that same concept, if I walked in, your agent was like, yeah, I know you're looking for A5. It's over here. You're like, cool. So if I'm on the internet, I'm like, I got to get fog machine that is hypoallergenic for fault liquid. They're like, oh, dude, don't even go to Amazon. Like, you need to go here because they actually have it down the street. And you're like, oh, cool.
Yeah, because I helped. Well, I was working. I won't even say the name. I'm afraid to drop the name. A major supermarket chain that was purchased by a major technology company. Could you figure out which one? And about in 2007 or 8, I went down to Atlanta and pitched them to create these wayfinding digital kiosks for the end caps in their store. So when you came in, it would give you suggestions of what you could use for dinner tonight, and then it would tell you where to find it in the store. And their immediate feedback to us was, we need everybody to get lost.
Correct.
We want everybody to get lost. And so if there's
you grab unnecessary shit when you're lost.
Exactly. So if AI has got one thing, it's going to really slow down, if not maybe stop certain people's behaviors of just doing the natural exploration, which some developers have said to me, or even UX folks have said, that's going to destroy the concept of creating an experiential website. It's no longer just about exploring things. Like, you have to ask it a question and you have to know what the question is, and then it'll just answer that one question. It won't let you do this like free exploration.
Because some people are going to want to look around anyway.
Yeah,
Some
I
people
know.
They just want to look around. Like, oh, can I help you find anything today? No, I'm just looking.
Well, Costco, you're not going to go to Costco and buy some toilet paper and then leave with a foosball table?
Right? There's like, humans are explorers again. Like, that was how we conquered the earth and ruined it. We just wouldn't go look in places and nooks and crannies we weren't supposed to be. So we're there. But all the optimizations, everything that ends in the word optimization is going to be changed. Everything that's like with design, like, who are you designing for? Like, we used to write content for SEO so that you could get search engines. Now you're writing content so that people can talk about it on Reddit, so that ChatGPT can grab it because it gets most stuff from Reddit, or most of its context from Reddit. It's like those type of scenarios are now like, what are you doing? Like, what are you really trying to do? You're trying to connect with people. So you should just go right to the person. That's why we're like tripling down on events. Go right to the person, educate the person yourself, dap them up, tell them what's good. Like, hug them, see what's going on with people. You can go directly to them. Otherwise, you're going through this myriad of change, seas and ebbs and flows of how the internet works and how people, not how it works, but how people navigate it, because they used to have to navigate it. Now they don't. Now they prompt the internet. Like, I don't surf web pages. I ask a question. I'm like, I just want this. And that's okay. That's okay. Because why do I need to be sitting in front of this computer to get the information I need right now? Why? Why do I need to interact with this square? Like, there's other ways to get the information, but it ruins industries, because industries are set for you to be like this. Just like television and advertising. They're like, we know every night, TGIF, we got captive audiences. We can get all the kids stuff, all the toys from 6 to 9 p.m. They're going to be sitting in front of this thing, maybe with a Hungry Man TV dinner.
You said HR will do the things that are safe and expected, and really, we got to try some different things. Otherwise, if we're not the disruptors, we're going to get disrupted.
Right.
I feel like strongly about that. You are pursuing some other kind of content types too, and you have your own podcast as well. So I was wondering, in a couple words or two, I mean, do you have any advice for folks that are trying to do this? I think that's the cat, right?
He's like, yo, open the door, dude. Here you go. So for me, like, I really, you gotta try something different. Like, what's the motive of this episode? Like, having someone on, talking to them is only so much. I think the format of reaction is something that's going to be bigger in that, because the whole reaction video on TikTok and Instagram, like, people make a living watching other people's videos and just like giving their feedback, which is like,
I know,
being in hyperbole, and you're just like, this is not helping anybody. It's helping them.
Mystery Science Theater. It's been around for years.
Exactly. It's just, this is silhouettes watching the thing.
Yes,
like,
exactly.
It's Beavis and Butthead. It's the same thing that we
Yes.
watch, right? That, I think, is going to be bigger. That's how we're kind of exploring new ways to interact with the guests. It's like, hey, we're going to, it's like the hot ones. And like, I always had one, I wanted to have like celebrities and like people of, not celebrities, but like people of interesting people, and just be like, all right, we're going to sit in front of this and we're going to play Nintendo. We're going to play, the game today is Bubble Bobble 3. And we're like going to play, and they're just like, they don't know what it is. They don't know how to play, but we're like, it's bringing up, right? It's something new that's bringing up things that they haven't thought about in a while, or situations that they were in. And it's that, what's spurring, what's the catalyst of the conversation? And I think that's what's missing. It's just like two people. There's no like physical catalyst to like things going, that people are like, what's next? What's next? Rather than the question, they don't know. They're like watching something all together. It's just like this group performance. I think that that's something that we're exploring, because again, we don't want to just do, I think,
Dax, what we have to do, we have to like meet up after this at some point and do a director's cut reaction video of ourselves doing this video.
Yeah, of course. Oh yeah. And be like, what was I talking about? Why do I have a cat? Like, look how clean my shirt was. Like, I ruined.
Okay, all right. Last question I have for today. Before we go, I ask everyone. I do see you as being very successful, and as you said, you have a lot of gratitude in all the work that you do and the life that you're leading right now. And I feel like people are always interested in how to get onto that path and kind of pursue those kinds of things, either getting into our world or being their own business owner or being an entrepreneur and trying to get into some new interesting spaces. Do you have any advice for folks that are trying to think about that leap, but they're a little scared to do it?
I will talk to myself right now. So it is, you have to go outside and get out there and connect with the nodes that are going to bring energy into you and bring energy to them. Like we're all, it's an atom, it's electrons, molecule, it's planets. It's the same. It's the microcosm of everything, right? And that system can't work unless you're connecting and passing energy to other people. So you have to get out and do that, because then all of a sudden that person's going to be like, hey, actually, I remember you. Do you want to migrate my company to HubSpot? And what's going to happen then? Like, it's going to be some crazy fall, but you can't do that sitting in the corner at your house. It's really hard to do so, right? Whether it be virtually connecting, or it's the easier one, which is go outside and go talk to the first person you see and see what happens. Those type of putting yourself out there, having that cup empty, is where that first opportunity come, because you're not going to make it. You're not going to make the first opportunity. Someone's going to present you with the opportunity, and you better be ready. So make sure that you've been lifting weights. You've been preparing your entire life. Like everyone's been preparing their entire life for the next minute, for the next second. And I think that once you go outside and step foot, then you're kind of forced to make that change. And everyone's like, man, you got to make the leap. You got to quit your job. You got to just go. You don't. You do not. It will go like this if you want it to. And if you really want to, or you just maybe like, I have a job and I have this thing that pays for all my bills, so I'm living a comfortable lifestyle, whatever I want to do. But I'll say that, and then go be quiet for a little bit and see what I want. How do I want to feel? Who do I want to do it with? Because we're always so busy, make ourselves busy. Again, I'm talking to myself. Always so busy. Always trying to be busy. Busy equals good, even though it probably doesn't, right? I'm just using this toothbrush, clean this floor. Like, I'm busy, guys. I can't talk. But being so busy to not look inward and understand, what do I really want to do every day? What do I want to wake up and do? How do I feel accomplished? Whether it be whatever, right? Asking those subsequent questions and actually being quiet and going in. Those are the things that'll actually get you in the right, at least get you put in the right directions that you could then go forth.
Yeah.
With that in
Busy
mind.
for busy's sake is not good, but I do want to catch the thing. I want to emphasize something that you did say. If you're a wallflower right now and you're ready to not be a wallflower, make sure before you do the next thing, you're ready.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the part that people don't fully understand. I'm going to leap and it's going to be great. It can be if you're ready to do it. I think that's where folks on, you said it well. It's like, yeah, take those risks, but just be ready that when you get out there, people are expecting to be wildly on point. So you got to really have your game down.
Yeah, you're going to get hit. That's what luck is like being prepared when the shit hits you in the face. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Okay, with that, Dax, this has been absolutely fantastic. If you want to learn all about Dax and his company, Hapily, you're going to check them out. And I believe it's HAPILY.com to check out the business. And it's amazing. And eventually you'll go to dope.hapily.com and check out their sweet merch,
Oh, the merch.
which he's donning right now. You can see that tasty necklace he's wearing. It's actually flavorful. Dax, again, this has been absolutely fantastic. I thank you so much. And I'm looking forward to do our reaction video very, very soon.
Oh, man, the first of its kind. The podcast reaction. The meta shall be soon.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Dax. We appreciate you joining us here on The Sound of Inbound.